Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show that addresses all your stock-specific queries. Now, when the markets are actually slowly and gradually inching higher in trade and recovering from those 5 painful months, what is it that you should have as strategy in your markets and this market as well as on your investment portfolio? The key stocks that you hold. Should you accumulate some more at lower levels? Should you be, exiting at the rise that we are seeing in the markets, or should you be looking at fresh stocks at this point in time? Anything and everything that can come into your mind will be addressed on this special show. The number is flashing on your screens, so WhatsApp us your query along with your name, location and your contact details, and we'll be happy to connect you with our top market experts who join in on this platform. Let's welcome our guest on board. We have Nilesh Jain, Head and Vice President of Technicals and Derivatives Research at Centrum Broking, joining in shortly. You could also use the YouTube platform where you're watching our show live on, and you can send us your questions there too. Already I see a lot of names, so let me welcome all our viewers as well. Avdesh Thakur, Avnish Chaudhary, we have Vino Varghese, Anuj Singh, Kamlesh Narkhere joining in. Warm welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for waiting up right at the beginning of the show with all your questions. Rest assured, we will be taking up all of them. There are many that are flowing in on our WhatsApp number as well. At this point in time, the Nifty is holding up strong, 52 points higher, above 22,600. So we are further inching up to protect that 22,500 on the downside, and I hope this remains towards the latter half of the trading session, because still a large part of the market is down in the red, even though the Nifty is holding up on the back of few heavyweight names like the Bajaj twins, for that instance. For HUL, 2.5% higher. Remember, HUL is also something that Vaishali had marked out from the FMCG pack in the morning trading session as the stock that she is watching out for. PSU stocks, remember, they were up and about. Some of them have given up a lot of those gains as well. Right now it's metals, FMCG, financial services and slight gains in IT and pharma that are holding up in the markets. Rest of the pockets have all slipped. When we talk about the top movers on the Nifty, you have Power Grid. Then you also have HUL, Hindalco, JSW Steel and Infosys as some of the stocks that are holding up in trade. Nilesh is with us, so let's start off by quizzing him on the markets then. Nilesh, warm welcome. Good afternoon to you and good to have you with us at the beginning of this week. Well, the last 2 days of recovery that we saw is perhaps continuing even in this truncated week. 22,600 is upon us. Tell us, how do you feel about the market right now? Will we continue to make gradual recovery even in this new week, which is a truncated one?
Very good afternoon to you, Sakshi. Well, absolutely. So we have seen extending the move of the move that began 3 days back. So the market snapped its 3 weeks of losing streak in the previous week and formed a small body bullish candle. And today, the week has started on a positive note where we are witnessing a follow-up buying in the Nifty index. Good part of today's move is that Nifty has respected and defended 22,500 levels at the opening hour today, and we are expecting a follow-up to continue towards 22,700 to 22,800. Now, 21-day moving average, which is currently placed at 20,740, and even if you look at the derivative data of the coming weekly expiring in this week, the data also suggests that 22,500 on the put side, where the put writers are very much active, and call writing can be seen at 22,700, 22,800. So, broader range for the Nifty look like as of now 22,400 to 22,800. The narrow range from this week expiry point of view could be in the range of 20,400 to 20,700. So we are standing exactly in between this particular range. So we can expect some profit taking to continue at the high levels. We have already seen a decent pullback from the lower levels. So as of now, there are possibility of some consolidation to continue. So better to wait for some dip before you get into the long position in the index. So ideal range for the entry should be 20 to 500 to 20 to 550, and stop loss should be placed somewhere around 20 to 400. So stock specific market on index front, we are expecting some consolidation and sideways move with slightly positive bias.
Okay, got that. Let's actually look at a few questions that are coming in then, Nilesh, for you so that you can address it for our guests today. Let's start off with the first question. This one is from Avdesh Thakur. His question is on Morpen Laboratories. एंड ही सेज दैट इनके पास 200 शेयर्स हैं, 50 रुपये पर होल्ड किया हुआ है. अगले 6 महीने तक का टारगेट आपसे जानना चाहते हैं मोरपेन लेबोरेटरीज पर. यहाँ पर क्या राय रहेगी आपकी?
देखिए आफ्टर ग्रेजुअल डिक्लाइन जिस पर्टिकुलर काउंटर में हमने देखी है फ्रॉम द लेवल्स ऑफ 100 इट हैज करेक्टेड ऑलमोस्ट 50%, मोर देन 50% करेक्शन ये ऑलरेडी दिखा चुका है। अब इतने बड़े करेक्शन के बाद काउंटर अपने मल्टी मंथ मल्टी ईयर सपोर्ट जोन जो कि प्लेस है 43 के आसपास, उसके आसपास सपोर्ट लेके रिवर्सल दिखा रहा है। तो हो सकता है कि यहाँ से एक फॉलोअप हमें देखने को मिले। ज्यादा बड़ी अपसाइड की संभावना यहाँ पे फिलहाल नजर नहीं आती, बट यस थोड़ा फॉलोअप मूव इस पर्टिकुलर काउंटर को 52 रुपए से लेके 55 रुपए तक ले जा सकता है। अगर 55 के ऊपर निकलता है तो एक शॉर्ट टर्म बॉटम कंसीडर किया जाएगा, बट एज ऑफ नाउ ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक पुल बैक ट्रेड है। तो इस पुल बैक ट्रेड में अगर लॉन्ग पोजीशन बनाई हुई है तो यहाँ पे एक ट्रेलिंग स्टॉप लॉस लगाएं जो कि 45 रुपीज 50 पैसे के आसपास निकल के आ रहा है। 45 रुपए 50 पैसे के स्टॉप लॉस के साथ बने रह सकते हैं। उसके नीचे अगर फिसलता है तो लॉन्ग पोजीशन में से एग्जिट कर जाए।
Okay. Let's take another one. This question is from अवनीश चौधरी और ये लिखते हैं, गुड आफ्टरनून साक्षी, मार्केट में अब थोड़ा पॉजिटिव मूवमेंट आया है पर इरिडा में अभी भी पॉजिटिविटी नहीं आ पाई है, तो अभी और कितना वेट करना चाहिए एवरेज करने के लिए अगर 205 की बाइंग है तो? इरिडा के ऊपर सवाल है।
बिल्कुल देखिए इरेडा में भी एक ग्रेजुअल डिक्लाइन हम देख रहे हैं और वीकली टाइम फ्रेम पे एक लोअर टॉप एंड लोअर बॉटम फॉर्मेशन बन रहा है। स्ट्रक्चर वीक है और जिस हिसाब से आज के सेशन में ब्रॉडर मार्केट्स में फिर से हमें थोड़ा बहुत पेन देखने को मिल रहा है। लार्ज कैप इंडाइसेस में थोड़ा सा इंडेक्स मैनेजमेंट जरूर हो रहा है, बट ब्रॉडर मार्केट निफ्टी मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप स्टॉक में हमें थोड़ा सा बिकवाली का प्रेशर देखने को मिल रहा है। और ये पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक का स्ट्रक्चर भी थोड़ा सा वीक है। निचले स्तरों पर 140 का लेवल अगर ये ब्रेक करता है तो लॉन्ग पोजीशन में से एग्जिट कर जाए, क्योंकि उसके बाद गिरावट और गहरा सकती है। 130 और 125 तक काउंटर फिसल सकता है। तो बेहतर होगा कि एक स्टिक स्टॉप लॉस यहाँ पे मेंटेन करें और ऊपरी स्तरों पर अगर पुल बैक आता है तो पुल बैक 160 से लेके 165 तक देखने को मिल सकता है।
ओके, उम्मीद करते हैं यहाँ पर अवनीश आपको राय मिल गई होगी कि किस तरीके से अभी आप स्टॉक के मूवमेंट को एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं। हमारे साथ अब एक दर्शक फोन लाइन पर जुड़ रहे हैं, मोहन है बेंगलुरु से। हाय मोहन, हाउ आर यू डूइंग?
Hello, good afternoon, Sakshi. I am
Good
doing well.
afternoon,
How are
Mohan.
you doing?
आई एम वेरी वेल, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर आस्किंग. Tell us what can
Yeah,
we help
Billet,
you with today?
yeah, you are one of the legend doing a great work, Sakshi. At
Thank
this
you
time.
so much. Thank you so much, Mohan, for all your appreciative words. Tell me.
Welcome. And yeah, my question is one on the infra space. Is L&T a good bet considering all the financial experts are betting high on the large cap stock? So that
Okay.
is considering that. Second is how is NBFC space? Is Sundaram Finance a good bet to accumulate few stocks in prices? So these
Okay.
two are my questions.
Absolutely, we'll definitely help you out. Nilesh is with us to help you out with that. The poster boy of infra story in India, L&T, is the first one that our viewer has picked up, and he wants to know if one has to really bet big on the large cap stocks. Then, from the infra story, is L&T a good purchase at 3207? Of course, Nilesh, you can help us with the technicals. The stock has been actually, trading in a very narrow band of late, consolidating from a fairly long perspective as well. But of course, looking at the kind of fundamentals that go behind the company, this is always seen as one of those stocks which are even generational stocks. I think Gaurang Shah had mentioned that L&T is something that you can pass on from generations to generations. It's that kind of a quality stock. Tell us, how should one view this one at this current juncture? And the second one is a question on the NBFC space as well, and Sundaram Finance.
Right, Sakshi. So first of all, L&T definitely it's a good positional bet and one of the quality large cap infra counter, you can say that. And it has to be there in the portfolio from a position perspective of more than 5-10 years, you can say. But purely from a trading perspective, the stock is looking slightly on a weaker side from a short-term point of view, because the stock is in a formation of a lower top and low bottom. So that basically indicates that if it breaks below 3150, then there are high possibility of a stock testing the levels of 3000 as well. So technically, from a short-term point of view, the structure looks weak. But yes, if somebody is looking to add in the portfolio from a position perspective, these declines are giving a good opportunity to accumulate buy in a staggered manner. And if somebody is looking to find a support, then the next major support for this particular counter is placed somewhere around 2900. Ideally, that should be stop loss for the long position. and gradually we can expect a rebound in the market. Then this particular stock is likely to participate as well. Now coming to NBFC space, yes, we are bullish on NBFC space as a whole, be it Chola Finance and also Bajaj Twins, where we are constantly witnessing an attraction. So overall, NBFC space as a whole looks attractive. Shriram Finance is also one of them. But specifically Sundaram Finance, this particular stock, where we are witnessing some kind of consolidation, the volume is little dry in this particular counter. So I would say if somebody is looking to add in the portfolio from a position perspective, then yes, it can be bought with a stop loss below 43.50, and the position target comes 4800 to 5000. But my preferred bet within this space still remains Bajaj Twins. So Bajaj Finance looks attractive at current level as well, can be added on decline. So 8800, 9000 kind of levels can be seen. 80 to 50 should be the stop loss. Apart from that, Bajaj Finserv is also looking good on the chart, and position target comes somewhere around 2050 to 2100. With a stop loss below 1750, Bajaj Finserv can also be looked at.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has answered your question. Let's actually look at another one. This one is from Vino Varghese. He's from Kochi, and he says that I have 500 shares of Zomato at the rate of 270. Now he says that he can hold for 3+ years, and he wants to know whether he can continue to add more at the current levels as well on Zomato. What would your view be here?
Zomato positionally, no doubt, it's looking good given the kind of structure that we are witnessing on a weekly time frame chart. The recent correction has given a good opportunity to accumulate as well. But as of now, on immediate basis, these are not a good level to enter because the stock is in a corrective phase, the kind of correction that we are witnessing in the mid cap and small cap. So the Zomato is likely to witness some selling pressure as well. So these are not the levels, but yes, if it falls below 200, then probably one can think of adding in the portfolio. Short-term structure looks weak, but positionally, given the kind of time frame of 3 years plus, yes, this particular stock can be, one can stay put with a stop loss below 180, and on the upside, the position target comes somewhere around 260 to 280.
Okay, fair point. Let's actually take another one. This question is from Anuj Singh. He says, मैम पीजी इलेक्ट्रोप्लास्ट का शेयर 780 के रेट पर खरीदा हुआ है, इसका क्या टारगेट लेकर चल सकते हैं? पीजी इलेक्ट्रोप्लास्ट 780 का लिया हुआ है, फिलहाल 910 पर चल रहा है, तो प्रॉफिट्स में आज भी तकरीबन 4% तक की मजबूती है और ये दिन के उच्चतम स्तरों पर कामकाज कर रहा है स्टॉक आगे। और अब क्या टारगेट लेकर चलें इस पर?
बिल्कुल, देखिए बहुत ही बेहतरीन स्टॉक है, और जिस हिसाब से वीकली टाइम फ्रेम अगर आप उठा के देखें तो एक सेक्युलर अप ट्रेंड में रहा है। कोविड पेंडेमिक लो जो बना था स्टॉक के अंदर, लगभग वो था 2 रुपए के आसपास का, और वहां से एक मल्टी बैगर स्टॉक ये साबित हुआ है। बहुत ही अच्छी खरीद लेवल है इनकी, तो मैं कहूँगा बने रहे यहाँ पर। एक ट्रेडिंग स्टॉप लॉस कंटिन्यूसली मेंटेन करके रखें, तो फिलहाल के लिए ट्रेडिंग स्टॉप लॉस 775 के आसपास का निकल के आ रहा है, और
ठीक है।
स्टॉक के अंदर पोटेंशियल है कि यहाँ से एक नए रिकॉर्ड हाई की तरफ जाता हुआ नजर आ सकता है। तो बने रहने की सलाह होगी। 1000 और 1200 तक के लेवल शॉर्ट टू मीडियम टर्म में देखने को मिल सकते हैं।
ओके, गॉट दैट। तो चलिए, आपने यहाँ पर भी नोट डाउन कर लिए होंगे कि किस लेवल तक ये स्टॉक जा सकता है, रिकॉर्ड्स पर आ सकता है, तो आप उस हिसाब से डेफिनेटली आगे बढ़ें। नेक्स्ट हमारे पास सवाल आया है कमलेश नरखेड़े का, और ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं कुछ 2-3 स्टॉक्स के बारे में। लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए बाइंग करना चाहते हैं ईएमएस लिमिटेड पर, वटेक वबाग में, या ई पैक ड्यूरेबल में। ये कुछ 2-3 स्टॉक्स इन्होंने अपने लिए चुना है और ये कह रहे हैं कि मेरे लिए बाइंग लेवल मुझे सजेस्ट कर दीजिए। लॉन्ग टर्म का अगर व्यू है, थोड़ा थोड़ा करके मैं अक्यूमुलेट करना चाहता हूँ, तो क्या अभी करंट स्टेज से कर सकता हूँ? ईएमएस लिमिटेड, वाटेक वबाग और ई पैक ड्यूरेबल्स, ये कैसे लगते हैं आपको स्टॉक्स? इनमें से कोई ज़्यादा पसंद आ रहा हो तो वो भी आप बता सकते हैं।
तो देखिए, सबसे पहले इन तीनों में जिस स्टॉक का स्ट्रक्चर ज्यादा बेटर है वो है वाटेक वाबाग। तो वाबाग
ठीक है।
ये स्टॉक इनफैक्ट आप यहाँ पर ऐड करने के बारे में सोच सकते हैं। आइडियल खरीदारी की रेंज में यहाँ पे बता देता हूँ, 1200 के आसपास का मल्टी मंथ सपोर्ट है, तो जितना नजदीक आप 1200 के बाय करें तो वो बेहतर होगा। तो 1300 और 1250 की रेंज में अगर ये मिलता है तब यहाँ पे खरीदारी करके चल सकते हैं। पोजिशनल स्ट्रक्चर काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग है, और यहाँ पे बाय इन स्टैगर मैनर शुड बी दी स्ट्रेटेजी। EMS लिमिटेड स्टॉक का स्ट्रक्चर इनफैक्ट डेटा थोड़े से लिमिटेड है, साथ ही साथ स्ट्रक्चर भी थोड़ा सा वीक है, तो बेहतर होगा कि अवॉइड करें। एंड सिमिलरली इम्पैक्ट, ये पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक का भी सिमिलर व्यू होगा। यहाँ पर भी डेटा मेरे पास थोड़े से लिमिटेड है, पिछले 1 साल पुरानी लिस्टिंग है, तो यहाँ पे जो भी डेटा अवेलेबल है वो यही इंडिकेट कर रहा है कि थोड़ा कंसोलिडेशन इम्पैक्ट और ईएमएस लिमिटेड में हमें कंटिन्यू होता हुआ नजर आएगा।
ओके, गॉट दैट। चलिए, यहाँ पर भी आपको राय मिल गई है। व्हाट्सएप के ज़रिए भी हमें हमें कुछ सवाल मिले हैं, तो एक का सवाल लेते हैं हमारे दर्शक का। मोहित है लुधियाना से और लिखते हैं, गुड आफ्टरनून, कैन आई बाय टाटा मोटर्स एट द करंट लेवल फॉर द नेक्स्ट 3 years? ओके मोहित, वी डेफिनेटली एड्रेस दैट क्वेश्चन. Tata Motors, a lot of our viewers are feeling stuck since higher levels. The stock has not just tested 700, it also inched closer to 600 now. Right now at 650, about 1/4% higher, but the stock has not really shown any kind of strong reversal from these lower lows. Your suggestion, if somebody has a 3-year perspective, should one look at the current levels to buy?
Absolutely. So you are getting a 50% discount to what we saw
Yes.
earlier at a new record high that the stock has made of nearly about 1150 to 1200. So these are good entry points, but you should have a time horizon of 3 years plus that is well maintained. So if at all, if we see any decline from here, it's a positional buy, not from a trading perspective, because the short-term structure still looks weak, and we may see the levels of 600 or maybe 580 as well, because this has been one of the underperformer within the auto space. And given the kind of new entrance of Tesla, that is what we are hearing as of now. So that may have some short-term impact on on this particular counter as well. But yes, it's a positional buy. Buy in a multiple tranches and keep a stop loss below 530 as a positional buy. And given the kind of time frame of 3 years plus, it's a good bet.
Okay, got that. Let's take some other questions then. Some are coming in on our YouTube platform as well. This is Satya CK, and he says, I want to know fresh levels to enter on Medi Assist Healthcare. What is the view of Medi Assist Healthcare at the current levels for long term investment purpose? Or is there anything better that you could suggest from the same space? Is what the question is, Satya, from Satya, Nilesh.
Well, Medi Assist, as of now, if you look at this particular stock structure, after listing, we saw some pullback, but that pullback got sold into. So the structure of this particular counter is looking slightly on a weaker side, and we may see further downtick to continue. So these are not the good levels to enter, and better to wait for a breakout above 500 that will negate the bearish formation. Suppose then it can be bought for a position target of 580 to 650. And if at all, if somebody has already bought, then keep a strict stop loss of 425. And if it breaks below 425, then we may see the levels of 400 as well. So better to avoid for the time being. This particular stock is not looking that attractive. Either wait for a breakout above 500.
Okay, well, Nilesh, we also have some more questions coming in. This is Satyan, and he is requesting you to address the query in English. He says, I'm interested to buy two stocks from the capital market story. One is CDSL, and the other one is Nuvama Wealth. And he has a 2-year time frame. He wants to note stop loss and targets for both CDSL and Nuvama Wealth.
Well, it's a good approach because both the stocks have been a good correction, and both the stock has a positionally good structure as well. So first of all, Nuvama, this particular counter, in fact, as the stock has recently formed a double bottom kind of pattern somewhere around 4,900. So first of all, you keep a stop loss below 4,900. Positionally, the structure looks very strong, and given the kind of time frame, 2 years plus, the stock has a potential to revisit and retest the new record high as well. So it's a good buy at current level, buy in multiple tranches, because the stop loss is still coming at a lower level of 4,900. So there's still some more room on the lower side. So multiple tranches buying should be advisable in this particular stock. The structure looks strong for 6,500 to 7,000. Now coming to CDSL, there's still some more room left on the lower side because the stock is in a downtrend from a short-term point of view, and ideal buying range should be 1100 to 1050. The stop loss is coming somewhere around 921. So 920 should be the stop loss for the long position. And positionally, the stock again has a potential to retest the levels of 1450 to 1600 as well. But as of now, I would rather wait in this particular stock to buy in the range of 1050 to 1100.
ओके गॉट दैट। चलिए अगले दर्शक के साथ भी बातचीत कर लेते हैं। हमारे साथ एक दर्शक फ़ोन लाइन पर है, गौरव है आगरा से। नमस्कार गौरव जी, काफ़ी लंबे अरसे के बाद आपने फ़ोन किया है बिजनेस टुडे पर और डेली कॉल्स में। कैसे हैं आप? उम्मीद करते हैं निवेश वगैरह आपका सब बढ़िया चल रहा है।
बाकी तो सब अच्छा है मैम, मैं पेशेंस वाला हूँ तो मैं कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। अभी भी मेरे को तकरीबन 3.5 लाख के आसपास का लॉस है मेरे उसमें, पर कोई दिक्कत नहीं क्योंकि वो बैकअप हो जाएगा। पर मैं एक चीज पूछना चाह रहा हूँ, एक मेरे पास BAL के 2000 शेयर हैं जिनकी खरीद 322 पे है, तो वो
ठीक है।
एक 280 पे आके बैक हो जाता है। तो मैं जानना चाह रहा था कि ये 322 कब पार कर पाएगा। और दूसरा मैंने अभी सेल के लिए पर कल ही लिए हैं, पर कल नहीं, अभी पिछले हफ्ते में लिए थे, तो मैंने 700 शेयर लिए थे सेल के, और वो मैंने लिए हैं 111
स्टील
रुपए। तो मैं
अथॉरिटी की बात करें या फिर गैस अथॉरिटी की?
नहीं नहीं, स्टील अथॉरिटी,
स्टील अथॉरिटी, ठीक है।
स्टील
ठीक है।
111।
ठीक है, आपको दोनों क्वेश्चंस पर राय दिलवा देते हैं नीलेश से। नीलेश जी, पहले तो भारत इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स जो कि पिछले कुछ दिनों से एक मोमेंटम डेफिनेटली दिखा रहा है, लेकिन हमारे जो दर्शक हैं वो ये देख रहे हैं कि अक्सर ये ऊपर जाता है लेकिन सस्टेन नहीं कर पाता है रिकवरी को, या फिर अपसाइड काफ़ी एक कैप्ड लग रही है इनको। तो ये जानना चाह रहे हैं कि 322 के ऊपर कब जा सकता है ये स्टॉक। दूसरा स्टॉक इनका है स्टील अथॉरिटी जो कि अभी हाल फिलहाल में खरीदा है इन्होंने 111 के लेवल पर। ये प्रॉफिटेबल कब तक हो सकता है इनके लिए, ये भी जानना चाहते हैं।
बिल्कुल, देखिए सबसे पहले BEL भारत इलेक्ट्रिक लिमिटेड, ये पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक इनफैक्ट पॉइंटेड आउट कि यहाँ पर एक कांस्टेंट रेजिस्टेंस फेस कर रहा है। 300 के लेवल के आसपास का एक काफी इमीडिएट हर्डल है, तो 300 के ऊपर निकलना बहुत जरूरी है फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर काउंटर। उसके ऊपर निकलने के बाद 320 और 340 तक के लेवल देखने को मिलेंगे, और जिस हिसाब से निचले स्तरों से हमने एक रिबाउंड देखा है, मेरे ख्याल से बहुत जल्द हमें ये 300 के लेवल ब्रेक होते हुए नजर आएंगे, और उसके बाद 340 तक हाई यहाँ पे टेस्ट हो सकते हैं। तो बिल्कुल बने रहे फिलहाल के लिए, क्योंकि मार्केट थोड़ा सपोर्टिव नहीं है। मार्केट अगर सपोर्ट करता है तो डेफिनेटली ये स्टॉक आउट परफॉर्म कर सकता है। और करंट लेवल पर यहाँ पे अगर स्टॉप लॉस की बात करें तो 255 रुपए का स्टॉप लॉस लगाएं। वहीं अगर स्टील स्पेस में आप अगर देखें तो स्टील अथॉरिटी इज बीन वन ऑफ द अंडर परफॉर्मर। रिसेंटली हम पिछले कुछ एक दिनों से ओवरऑल मेटल स्पेस में तेजी देख रहे हैं, उसके विपरीत स्टील अथॉरिटी अंडर परफॉर्म कर रहा है। तो एक अप्रोच यहाँ पे ये होनी चाहिए कि आप लीडर्स के साथ रहे। JSW स्टील, JSPL, हिंडाल्को, स्पेसिफिकली एल्यूमिनियम स्पेस पर भी फोकस करके चल सकते हैं। हिंडाल्को उसमें से एक प्रिफर्ड बेट है। और स्टील स्पेस में अगर आप फोकस कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ पर JSW स्टील और टाटा स्टील बेहतर विकल्प अवेलेबल है। स्टील अथॉरिटी के अंदर लेवल्स में अलर्ट कर देता हूँ, 104 का यहाँ पे सपोर्ट है, तो वहाँ पे स्टॉप लॉस लगाएं। 115 के ऊपर अगर ये निकलता है तो ही यहाँ पर एक शॉर्ट टर्म ब्रेकआउट यहाँ पे माना जाएगा, और उसके बाद 125 तक की अपसाइड देखने को मिलेगी। बट फिलहाल के लिए 125 के आसपास का, 115 के आसपास काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजिस्टेंस जोन है, तो उसका पार करना बहुत जरूरी है। एज ऑफ नाउ एक कंसोलिडेशन है वो कंटिन्यू होगा। बेहतर विकल्प हमने ऑलरेडी हाईलाइट किए हैं, वहां पर स्विच कर सकते हैं।
Okay, fair point. Got that. Let's take another question. This one is coming in from Mr. Dasaradhi. Mr. Dadaradhi, and he's watching our show from our YouTube platform. And he says, Sakshi, I have 400 shares of Moss Chip Technologies at the rate of 225, and I can add more on Moss Chip Technologies. Is it advisable to add more at the current levels? Would you say that, Nilesh?
Well, Sakshi, it's a recent listing. Only 1 month data is available, and whatever data I have, the trend is looking weak. So better to do not average in this particular count as of now. Wait for a breakout. If it breaks above 175, that can give sort of a momentum. So post that breakout, this particular stock can be bought. But as of now, it's an avoid. And if already holding the long position, then keep a stop loss below 140.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has helped you out in getting some understanding as to how to approach this stock. Next हमारे पास ये सवाल है मोहित यादव का। ये जश इंजीनियरिंग पर आपका व्यू चाहते हैं, 3 साल तक के लिए निवेश करना चाहते हैं स्टॉक पर। जश इंजीनियरिंग कैसा लगता है आपको?
Sakshi, just if I'm not wrong, is it trading at 584?
I will just tell you. So Josh Engineering current stock price is at 584. That's right, from NSE, 1.4% lower. Yes.
Right. So very strong structure I can see on the weekly time frame chart. The stock has a very strong uptrend as well. So kind of a secular uptrend I can see looks strong for further upside momentum to continue towards 650 to 700. तो बने रह सकते हैं यहाँ पर लॉन्ग पोजीशन है तो 500 रुपए का स्टॉप लॉस लगाएं, ट्रेलिंग स्टॉप लॉस 500 के आसपास का लगाएं ताकि आप अपना मुनाफा और कैपिटल प्रोटेक्ट कर सकें. द स्ट्रक्चर जो स्ट्रक्चर है वो काफी स्ट्रांग है और यहाँ पे हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि नेक्स्ट 2 to 3 मंथ्स में स्टॉक एक नए रिकॉर्ड हाई की तरफ जाता हुआ नजर आ सकता है.
Okay, got that. Let's try and understand from one of our other viewers what her question is. So this is Gul from Kerala. She wants to know on 2 to 3 stocks. First one is NTPC from the power space. The second one is ICICI Bank, the large cap banking name, and the third one is ITC Hotels. 1 year time frame for all these three. These three are completely from diverse sectors. PSU space, there is NTPC from the power pack. Large private sector bank, there is ICICI Bank, and hospitality space, she is looking at ITC Hotels, the demerged entity that we are looking at. So let's first understand on NTPC and ICICI where there are bigger charts for you to study, Nilesh. NTPC right now?
Right. So in fact, I would say a good bet to add at current level. So both the stocks are looking good. NTPC, after a decent correction, the stock looks like forming a good base formation. 295 से 320 के बीच में काफी अच्छा बेस फॉर्मेशन हो रहा है. So good time to accumulate this particular stock. Position target comes somewhere around 390 to 440 as well. Yes, it's a good bet to buy at current level. Buying a staggered manner as well. ICICI Bank within private sector bank, another good bet. Along with that, I would advise to buy Axis Bank as well. But anyways, ICICI Bank, it has a very strong support at 1175. So ideally, that should be the stop loss for the long position. And given a time horizon of 1 year plus, yes, it's a good bet. And there could be possibility of a rebound in this particular counter going forward. So upside potential 1300 to 1350 and stop loss should be placed somewhere around 1175.
Fair point. Okay, got that. I hope this has helped you out. We'll take the next question now. This one is from Samvit Nageshwar. He says, for a short-term time frame only, can I enter into BSC and Avas financiers? What should I do? So BSC for sure has been actually seeing some kind of downticks, and that's on the back of brokerage houses slashing their targets of late. Avas financiers, there was some momentum, but again it's fiddled out. Let's look at this one as well. How would you look at BSC and Avas financiers?
PSC is not a buy at current level given the kind of downgrade as well as technically the stock has witnessed a sharp decline in previous 8 to 9 sessions now. The stock is on the verge of a breakdown below its 200-day moving average, which is a long-term support for this particular counter. So if it breaks below 4,000 levels, then it may slide further towards 3,800 to 3,600. So as of now, it's better to avoid for the time being till the time we get any reversal candle on the chart. So BSE is an avoid for the time being. Avas, today we are witnessing a spurt of close to 6%. It's a good momentum buy, but better to wait for some dip towards 1760 to 1740. That's a good entry point in this particular counter. Keep a stop loss below 1700 and the stock has a potential to test 1900 to 1950.
Okay, fair point. Let's take another one. This one is from Ankur Modi. He says, hi Sakshi, hope you're doing fine. I'm very well. Thank you so much for asking, Ankur, and I hope the same for you. He wants to know on BLS International, is it possible to buy this stock right now for 3 years view? What would you say?
Yes, certainly. So if you just pull up monthly chart in this particular counter,
Yeah.
we have a strong uptrend. Post pandemic low, the stock at that point of time it was trading at 8 rupees. So again, another multi-bagger counter which is given a decent correction from the highs. So yes, it can be bought. Keep a stop loss below 300, and going forward, we may see some bit of a rebound towards 400 to 420. So good buy at current level, but keep a strict stop loss.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also answered your question. Well, before I let you go, then Nilesh, I want to understand from you any key stocks that have come afresh onto your radar that you would like to recommend to all our viewers watching the show today.
Right. So stock-specific action is something that we are witnessing today. Within Adani Group, we have seen good attraction today. So Adani Port is looking attractive at current level, given the kind of breakout that we are witnessing in this particular counter. So there could be
Correct.
follow-up move, which may take this particular stock towards 1180 to 1200 on the upside. So with the stop loss below 1120, Adani Port can also be looked at. Apart from that, fertilizer space is another sectors where we have seen a good momentum recently. Coromandel International, we have seen a strong rebound from the lower levels, a good short covering candidate at present. So on the upside, it may move 1800 to 1850. So one can keep a stop loss below 1735 and Coromandel can also be bought.
Okay, fair point. Let's take another question then. We have some viewers asking you this question, and I wanted to just put that across to you before I let you go. This one is on, again, Vinod Chaudhary. He wants to know on Kirloskar Brothers, fresh entry and multiple entry levels.
Kirloskar brother, which is currently trading at 1686. So, yes, the ideal entry could be in the range of 1620 to 1650. One can keep a stop loss below 1500, but a breakout is awaited. It has a major resistance at 1800, which is 200 exponential moving average. So, a breakout above 1800 will provide good confirmation to witness a follow-up move on the upside towards 1900 to 1950. But if somebody has already bought at current level, then follow stick stop loss. We may see a follow move to continue from here.
Okay, got that. Thank you so much, Nilesh, for being with us on the show today and patiently addressing all those questions that have come in for your guidance. I hope all our viewers are also getting benefited from the wealth of experience that you share with us from your researched background. Thank you so much for being with us on the show. Always appreciate your time.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, viewers, we are actually looking at the second segment now of the show, Daily Calls, and we will now welcome another guest to take up the rest of your questions. Aditya Arora, founder of Analytics Stock Market Research, is with us. Aditya, first up, tell us what's your view. Good afternoon to you, first of all. What's your view on the markets? Do you finally think that the worst may be behind us?
Very good afternoon to you and to everyone. Look, the market texture looks pretty good, just like the texture we had yesterday in our Indian match. The end was
Yes.
thrilling. So the picture looks pretty better than what we saw today morning when Gift Nifty was down 70 odd points and now Nifty is plus 40 odd points. So I think the overall scheme of things is that we may consolidate in a broad range because domestically seems like we have completed the correction and we saw Swift move from 22,000 to 22,700, which is the resistance mark from where last time we broke down. 22,700, 22,800 will be the resistance mark for the Nifty. But stock specific move is impressive. Look at FMCG basket, look at
Yeah.
metals. So that is something impressive. So I think the range for the market is 22,000 being the support and 23,000, 22,800 to 23,000 is the resistance for the market.
Okay, fair point. Let's look at some questions that are then coming for you, Aditya, for assistance. We have our first caller with you. Now we have Kalpesh Patel from Mumbai on the phone line. Kalpesh, hi, good afternoon. कैसे हैं आप?
मैम मैं एकदम बढ़िया हूँ आप कैसे हो मैम और अभी तो संडे को मैच आपने देखा है कहीं अच्छा लगा मैच
जी बहुत बढ़िया लगा मुझे मैच और मैच के बारे में एक बात मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी कि जब किंग कोहली परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाए तो बाकी सभी प्लेयर्स ने बीड़ा उठाया और एक टीम प्लेयर्स की तरह उभरे और इट वाज डेफिनेटली अ टीम इन एक्शन ऑन द फाइनल डे दैट्स वी एक्सपेक्टेड और जैसे कि विराट कोहली ने ये कहा था कि हर मैच में किसी ना किसी प्लेयर ने हाथ उठाया और तभी ये सब चैम्पियंस बने हैं और वही एक डेफिनेटली एक रीज़न होता है जब कोई टीम जीतती है और कोई अनडिफीटेड रहता है पूरी सीरीज़ में ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी बात थी कल्पेश आपको क्या सबसे अच्छी बात लगी मैच के बारे में
मैम मुझे तो गेल राहुल का और सीएस का काफ़ी अच्छा मैच लगा मुझे उसकी बैटिंग काफ़ी अच्छी लगी
बहुत अच्छी
और
लगी
मैम
चलिए
हाँ हाँ
जी
जी मेरा आपका सवाल है कि ये जो महाराष्ट्र में जो लाडली बहन की जो योजना थी जिसकी वजह से महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट जीती थी आज बजट है तो सबको पैसा देने वाली है गवर्नमेंट तो
बिल्कुल
उसकी वजह से उसको कहाँ से इनकम करनी होगी तो महाराष्ट्र की सबसे बड़ी इनकम है रेवेन्यू स्टैम्प की स्टैम्प ड्यूटी की तो उसकी वजह से हो सकता है कि ये प्रॉपर्टी पे कुछ प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स और रेवेन्यू टैक्स बढ़ा दे। तो ये जो महाराष्ट्र की रियल एस्टेट जो स्टॉक है वो बोल रहा है गोदरेज प्रॉपर्टी उसके लिए नेगेटिव हो सकता है। तो इसके लिए मैं गोदरेज प्रॉपर्टी शॉर्ट सेल किया हुआ है 205 और मिड कैप शॉर्ट भी है। तो ये क्या 1500 तक आ सकता है?
ओके, गॉट दैट। चलिए यहाँ पर आदित्य राय दीजिए पहले तो ओवरऑल महाराष्ट्र में रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर को देखते हुए और खासतौर पर गोदरेज प्रॉपर्टी पर भी।
बिल्कुल देखिए गोदरेज प्रॉपर्टी एंड पूरा रियल एस्टेट पॉकेट हमने देखा है कि काफी वॉलेटाइल रहा है। बट जो गोदरेज प्रॉपर्टी है उसकी रिकवरी मार्केट के साथ सिंक नहीं है। ऑल्दो वी सॉ वेरी गुड बाउंस इन निफ्टी फ्रॉम 22,000 टू 22,700, बट जो गोदरेज प्रॉपर्टी में मूव है वो इतना इम्प्रेसिव नहीं आया है। इसका मतलब यहाँ पे सेलर्स काफी हावी बैठे हुए हैं। तो यहाँ पे ओवरऑल मुझे ट्रेंड लगता है न्यूट्रल टू बेरिश है। एक बार हो सकता है स्टॉक अपने लोस को वापस टेस्ट करने आए, जो है करीब करीब 1930 के आसपास। तो थोड़ा टेक्सचर इस काउंटर में बेरिश लगता है।
ओके, गॉट दैट। चलिए उम्मीद करते हैं कल्पेश जी आपको पूरी तरीके से यहाँ पर राय मिल गई होगी और आप संतुष्ट हैं। नेक्स्ट हमारे पास बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस यूट्यूब के ज़रिए भी आ रहे हैं, सो वील स्टार्ट टेकिंग सम क्वेश्चंस देयर टू। वी हैव दिस क्वेश्चन कमिंग इन फ्रॉम Vinod. Okay, Vinod, we have taken. This is Roshan Pradhan, who wants to know on one of the recently listed stocks, Aditya, and that is IGI, the Gemological Institute, the company that's focused on to lab-grown diamonds. That's what his question is on. I don't think you will have enough charts, but is anything looking okay? Because I think the earnings also came in some time back, I think a week, 10 days back, and that also was disappointing. The stock has actually faced multiple days of 10% circuits on the lower end as well. Today also the stock is disappointing, I think about 5% lower on a market when the market itself, the Nifty itself is up by about 50 odd points. What would you say on this one?
I think the history is pretty short on this counter, but if we had to comment technically, then the stock is continuously making lower high, lower low patterns. That is usually considered negative in technical parlance. So I would say that wait for the dust to settle down and wait for the volatility to come down. Then you can reconsider this counter. Otherwise, right now the sellers are pretty much active in this counter. Hence, wait and watch is the trend right now.
Wait and watch is the trend right now. Let's take the next question. We have this question on IDFC First Bank from Lalit. He says, I have this query on this stock because I'm holding 100 shares at an average price of 62. What is the long term view on IDFC First Bank? I have a 3-year horizon on this one. Again, a stock which has not really given a lot of appreciation to investors in terms of returns. What would you say right now?
I think this stock is pretty cyclical and it fluctuates in a very big range. And last time, the range which we saw was 29 on the lower hand side, and on the upside, the stock went to 100. And from there, again, the stock has come down to 57. Now, the support levels for this counter is 50 to 55 odd levels. So, I would say that now the correction has completed to a great extent from 100 odd levels. Now is the time to actually wait and watch. I think there could be one more dash again towards the higher levels, like 70 to 80 in the long run. So the view remains neutral to bullish in the long run.
Okay, got that. Let's take another one then. This question is from one of our callers. I think she's with us. Momita from Kolkata is with us on the phone line. So we'll get chatting with her. Hi, Momita. Good afternoon. How is it going for you?
Hi, Sakshi. Good afternoon. All good. Good to see the market doing better than last week.
Absolutely. Tell me what's your question.
I wanted to check if I can enter JSW Infra today, and I have a very short-term view on this. I'm looking for a time frame of maybe 1 to 2 months. So, wanted
Okay.
to check if it's a good idea to enter and what could be the potential upside target.
Fair point. We'll actually get you both stop losses as well as targets on this one then. I think that will be a great way to approach this one if you have just a 1 to 2 months view. There was a time, about a couple of months ago when JSW as a space was also outperforming, Aditya. How would you look at JSW Infra currently? Do you think it can actually give some upside over the next 1 to 2 months? Good time to enter?
Yes, I think the counter has good strength and the overall texture since listing has been impressive. Although the stock saw correction from 350 odd levels to 223, so I think the correction is over now, and the stock is making higher high, higher low pattern, which is technically positive. So I think technically one should establish stop loss at 225, and the targets on the upside are 290 to 320, where the important moving averages are placed. So the texture remains neutral to bullish on this counter.
Okay, fair point. Let's take another one then. This question is from Sanjeet Khurana, and he says, "I want to know, can I consolidate? Can I accumulate?" Is what he must be meaning to know on Gale. So basically, at what price should I add more shares? So we do not know your purchase level, Sanjeet ji. I think you mean to say what level you should be accumulating this stock more. Okay, we'll try and understand, because oil and gas has actually been in focus of late because of the fall in crude oil prices that we have been seeing. The better part of reaction is coming in from OMCs, HPCL, BPCL, IOC, because they stand to benefit whenever crude oil prices reduce. How about the gas stocks, especially GAIL at this current level, Aditya?
Yes, even Gale has seen significant correction. The stock has corrected from 250 odd levels to 156 now. And the support zone for this counter is in range of 120 to 160. So good time to accumulate in tranches as the stock has approached its long-term support zone. So it's at support only. So good time to start uh, buying nuggets of it, pieces of it.
Okay, fair point. Let's take another one then. We have this question coming in from one of our viewers who wants to know on Ambuja Cements. Any fresh entries warranted here currently? Ambuja Cements?
I think complete Adani pack and cement pack is doing well. So this candidate is also doing well. The viewer didn't tell the time frame, but if the view is medium term, then yes, the stock is at its support 450 to 500. Is the important medium term support for Ambuja Cement. Over here, the risk reward looks much better.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also answered your question. I'll ask you also, Aditya, in this current market, when there are some signs of recovery, have you identified any pockets of value where one can actually initiate buy if one has to, play the long-term recovery trend in the market?
Sure, I have identified one pocket which is clearly showing strength, and that pocket is Nifty FMCG basket. This was the sector which started the correction at the very first instance, wherein there was a chatter on the street that consumption is weak and GDP is weak, economy is weak, and this one started the correction the first, and now the recovery is also visible over here at the first instance. So I think after a bottoming out formation, technically this sector is actually breaking out of its range. So I like this pocket, and all the good names in this sector are having very good valuation compared to historical valuation. So uh, there's a lot of comfort in terms of valuation, and technically also this sector looks good. So I maintain positive bias on FMCG basket.
FMCG basket definitely looks good at the current realm as well. Okay, so that's as far as the key space that you should be look at. Now, Aditya, anything to still avoid in this current recovery? Where do you think the structure still remains very, very weak, so that investors can actually stay away from, in case there are any signs of a bounce as well, so that they don't get trapped in the sell on rise strategy as well? How would you really look at pockets which are still cautionary?
I think the pocket which had
Okay. I think there is some kind of a technical glitch. We'll try and come back and connect with Aditya on that one. Meanwhile, remember viewers, we have been very, very choppy throughout the course of the day. But the choppiness is limited to a few points, although the markets are still holding up above 22,586, although we have come off from 22,600 and higher levels. I think Aditya was mentioning FMCG is the preferred space that he's looking at. 0.7%, it's the top moving sector even today. So Aditya, you were trying to tell us which is the space which still gives an avoid signal as of now.
I think most of the fear or most of the panic has already played out in the market from domestic perspective. Till 22,000, I think a lot of the damage has already been done. So, in case the correction starts globally, it could affect the markets as well. In that case, I think Nifty small cap and mid cap space would be affected the most, and banking could be volatile in such a scenario. But I maintain little constructive stance on the market, and I feel most of the damage has been done. If one had to panic, then one had to panic in December 2024. Now I think it's little late to panic because now it's time to hunt for value in the market.
Okay, got that. Let's take some other questions as well. We have one question coming in from one of our viewers who wants to know on Poonawalla Finance or Poonawalla FinCorp. He already has this stock at 385, so wants to know, can I add more at this current level or should I wait for some more correction? That's his question.
I think Poonawalla FinCorp is already at its support of 270 odd levels. So I think one should look to accumulate in tranches, not in one shot in such volatile times. And the level or the zone for accumulation is 270 to 250 odd levels. So I think good time to start the accumulation process right now.
Good time to start accumulating the stock as of now. That's the view that's coming in. Aditya, we'll thank you then on that note for being with us on the show today and for answering all those queries from our viewers. I hope you have a fantastic time till the time we see you next on another edition of Daily Calls. Viewers, keep writing into us in case you are still in doubts about the stocks in your portfolio or fresh ones that are coming onto your radar. We will be back with another edition tomorrow at 12 noon to answer all your questions with another two set of brilliant stock market experts. Stay tuned.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a fresh week where we discuss quality stocks and quality funds. We'll start with the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen. The Nifty is on its fourth uptick